Hey everyone, this is Dan, the GM, voice of all the NPCs of What the Dice. Speaking of What the Dice, this is Season 2, and we are doing Shadowrun with a bunch of homebrew. Let's meet the players.
I'm Tizzy, and I play Voltage. Don't let this face fool you, let it shock you instead.
I'm Ethan, I play Cypher, the street samurai that cuts straight to the heart of the problem.
Nightlin here, and I play Sparkles, that satyr that has a heart of gold and a pocket full of glitter. Or was it grenades?
Hi, I'm Jared. I play P. Dexter, and the only thing faster than my bit rate is my wit rate.
Listener discretion advised. Content warning level green. Standard Shadowrun subject matter. Foul language. Sex, violence, drugs. For all of our content warning, none of these subjects go into graphic detail, but it is involved in the story of the episode. Listener discretion advised.
As the camera fades in, we look around. We are in the Golden City, but it's unusually calm. So we reach up, tap a button on our glasses, and we see the AR display kick on. It is 9 a.m. on a Monday. Explains why it's not busy. All the wage slaves are a-bustling and a-hustling, trying to make ends meet. We decide we're gonna go check on our favorite little elf, Simon. Getting into the Renraku building, for us, has become just a breeze. Swipe the fake ID, get to the elevator, swipe the right card, head up to the HR floor, step out into the bustle that is the bullpen. We hear the clacking of keyboards, the hum of the lights above, the murmurs of the everyday office jargon, and the ringing of phones. As we walk around, we see Simon. He seems in a good mood. And we watch him for a moment. He goes from cubicle to cubicle, handing out paperwork, tablets, before returning to his own cubicle. And he types away. We watch him for a long moment, and we see this look. This look that every wage slave gets when something is going right. We are curious, so we look around. Nothing seems any different. So we walk over to his cubicle and peer inside. There, a letter of recommendation to the Excel management program. Something that's designed to help Renraku employees get into management a lot faster than going through the grueling training process. It seems as if somebody saw something in Simon and wants to foster it. We chuckle as we watch Simon for just a moment. He takes up his earbud, what seems like a mechanical movement, something he doesn't even think about, puts the earbud in his ear and reaches to his comlink and hits the strange little app on his phone. As the app loads up, we hear the static. Well, my friends, welcome. If you are hearing my sultry voice, that means it is time that I am in the airwaves, and it is time for us to talk about the corruption that those corpos have been dishing out. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot about that corporation stuff that kind of makes us where we are. We wouldn't have the stuffer shacks, we wouldn't have the Matrix, and we wouldn't have the best of all, runners. That's right, my friends. If it wasn't for the runners and their greed and their pure, just latent want for destruction and privacy destruction, or whatever you want to call it, we wouldn't exist. So you gotta think about it as we are creatures, children of the corporations. And the corporations hate us, but need us and want us. Ain't that a big old thing? Speaking of runners, our runners have found themselves their target. They got him pinned at the location, meaning he's been there. They just need to figure out and find out if he actually is getting the stuff from here. Now that part might be a little bit tricky, but these runners seem like they got a little bit more sense about them than others. Now, Eddie would do things a little differently. Spy drones and stuff like that makes things a lot easier. All you need is one drone op, but they don't have one. Man, no mage, no drone, and they lost their sniper. Whew, boy. Runners, let's just hope you don't have a dragon that you have to make a deal with, because I don't know if you would follow them rules. Well, let's see what these runners are up to now.
We come back. It is just a little bit before 6 p.m. as the morning crew are exiting. Sparkles, Cypher, you see Voltage and P. Dexter standing by Voltage's car. This entire time, I have assumed that you guys are wearing the jumpsuits. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah, 100%
Absolutely.
on my end.
Yep.
All right.
Well, I'm going to pretend like I don't know him, because we took a VTOL, me and Cypher took a VTOL here, don't want to alert anybody, right? But sub-vocally, seeing Dexter and Voltage, she's going to be like, yo, security office is in the far right corner when you walk in. Well, close right corner, not far. Close right corner when you walk in. It's pretty much the only room that doesn't look like you're allowed to be in there. And we saw our dude here earlier. He came in, gave an envelope full of money to a orc in the meeting room.
Yep.
And
right.
there's some boxes just outside of security that's a blind spot, if anybody needs a blind spot. I looked in there. Those packages are going to our dude's spice shop. I got it all recorded on my visor, so I can send the footage over when you guys are done.
Any chance you could steal one of those packages?
The couple that I looked through, I mean, it would be kind of hard to pick up that package and just walk out up with it, not unless people are like, whatevs. But they only had some fresh roots and some fruits that need to be refrigerated or something.
Oh, okay. So it's not what we're looking for.
Not yet, but some of those boxes are sealed. I only got to go through like 2 or 3 of them, and there's like a dozen. And they had a plastic seal, so I wasn't going to break the seal.
And also nothing says that they couldn't have been hiding this stuff under other shipments.
Yeah, I only peeked through, but I have the address, and we can always go and investigate this guy's quote-unquote shipment in his spice room if we wanted to. You know, do a little B&E if we wanted.
Okay.
But if you need a blind spot, it's next to the security room.
Good info.
Appreciate that.
Have fun! Like I said, we saw our guy here earlier. He was here for like 10 minutes and then left. Haven't seen him back yet, but doesn't mean he won't come back.
Left out of your eyesight, or you know that he left the premises?
He left the premises. He went through the loading dock door that's... She'll pull up like a little AR map for you, like make a little marker on a map for you guys and send it to you, letting you know where the security is, where the blind spot is, and what door that guy left through.
Alrighty then.
Have fun! I'm gonna go get some dinner.
E. Dexter and Voltage. As you are approaching the warehouse, you see the line of warehouse workers waiting in line, getting checked in. The doorman is a younger looking orc. His uniform is okay fitting the suit. It is still a lower quality suit, as he is just kind of nodding at people and taking their credentials, scanning them, and letting them in.
I'm gonna go get in line.
Okay.
Of course.
as you two are slowly moving down the wage slave night shift. A couple people are kind of BSing about a game that they watched. A couple are BSing about movies. As you get to the orc, he looks at you two for a moment and raises an eyebrow. Holds out his hand to get your credentials.
New hires.
He nods. Ah, you got stuck with the shit, huh?
Yeah. I mean, you need a job most of the time. Night shift's hiring, right?
Yeah, man, this is I mean, don't get me wrong. Working at this warehouse is a frackin' cakewalk. Just make sure shit's done, make sure things clean, make sure the ACs are working, make sure none of the boxes are broken. Most of the storing and stuff like that is done by drones. We're just here to make sure shit don't break. But it is 12 hours of BS. Nice thing about night shift is we never have management coming in. So if you want to listen to your music, go for it, man.
Now, I was supposed to actually do some maintenance on some of our systems tonight. And that's why I'm a new hire. Where am I going?
Roll me your con, please.
Sure. One hit.
Don't forget, you can always spend an edge if you feel you need more.
Did you want to spend edge or anything?
Nope.
The orc looks at you and just shakes his head.
Sorry, man. I don't have keys to that security office. The spider keeps it lock and key. No one goes in at night.
Okay. Well, I'll let the boss know in the morning.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Sorry I can't help.
No worries.
If they would have told us earlier, I could have talked to the spider, but, you know how corporate is.
I know I'm on next week. I'm just not sure which day yet.
Give me a sec. He pulls up his tablet and begins to type something in. Please give me your edge.
One hit.
He types in for a couple of minutes and shakes his head and goes,
It looks like the spider's got that place locked down until he comes in next. So it looks like Wednesday is the next day he'll be on site.
Okay.
So come by Wednesday. If you're here on Tuesday, what I can do is I can bump you to the day shift and get you hooked up with him so we can get whatever you need to do done.
Nice. Great idea. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Have fun doing whatever direct you got to do tonight.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
he gives you a head nod as he kind of signals for you to head on so he can continue checking people in.
I'll keep going.
Inside the warehouse, it is cooler. The people that are working here are dressed in the same kind of jumpsuit you are, but some of them have the tops kind of unzipped and they are tied around their waist. A lot of them, if not all of them, have 1 or 2 earbuds in. Even some of them, you can tell they are playing AR games against each other while they're working.
Man, I might keep this job. This looks like a cakewalk. Just need to set up a bank account for my John Doe.
Bank account, that's adorable. This is a warehouse. They're probably paying cash.
Yeah, even better, man. I hope so. Take a check at the end of every night? Yes, please.
Yep. So what would you two like to do?
I'm looking at the map. Where's the security room?
So the security room is to the northwest.
Okay. I'm gonna try to go work in that vicinity.
Okay.
And sub-vocal, I'll say, like, I'd like to try to get in that room, or at least see if it's a lock we can get past. Can you pick locks at all, Voltage?
I believe I can.
Alright, well, we just need to look like we're busy for part of the night. That once people start to get tired and maybe nod off, we can check that lock, see if we can get into it.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. So, as you walk down the aisle that is the one that you've identified as product that is heading towards your target's shop. Give me a perception check, both of you, unless Voltage has something else he wants to do.
2 hit.
Okay.
4 hits.
Voltage, as you are walking around acting like you are working, you start to notice these boxes are pretty new. Looks like they were delivered today. As you're standing there, you see a drone drive by, pick up a crate, then another drone, then another drone. Soon, the rack is completely empty. You can see what looks like old boxes that have been crushed on that back wall where crates have been stacked on top of crates and things have been damaged. And you start to notice little shards of glass, as if something, spice bottles or glasses, like drinking glasses, have been destroyed by crushed pallets, things of that nature.
Anybody nearby for me to check them out?
No, you see a lot of people around just mulling about, listening to music, and working. They don't seem to really be paying any attention to you right now.
Is it within the blind spot area that was previously mentioned to me?
It is in the aisle that the blind spot is been notated on your maps.
I'll grab my... I'm assuming I have basic, like broom dustpan stuff with me, or no?
There's cleaning stations around. You can grab supplies from there with ease.
Okay, well I'll just walk over to the cleaning supply wall, grab broom and dustpan, pick up the glass, and look around as I do so.
Okay. As you are cleaning it up, there's this sickly sweetness to the air. Almost like it's just that thick, sickly sweet smell, like rotted fruit kind of smell as you are cleaning up the area. You notice that a lot of the glass that you are sweeping up is crushed, like almost purposefully. As you finish cleaning up, give me a perception check.
2.
Yeah, you don't see anything out of the ordinary. It's just the smell is starting to get to you a little bit, so, eventually you finish cleaning up the area.
Do I recognize the smell from... anywhere else? Like when we were back at the club, is the smell similar to drinks around me that was there?
No, this smells like rotting... Have you ever been around rotting strawberries and stuff like that?
Unfortunately.
Yes, it's that kind of sickly sweet, rotty kind of mix.
So nothing that I would be able to sense as a possible ingredient to the substance in question?
Nope.
Okay.
Peter,
Alright, go ahead.
what are you doing?
Like I said, I wanted to go work near the office, so kind of in that blind spot as well. Having flashbacks about sweeping warehouses, so I'm not gonna do that.
Alright, give me a perception check.
Here we go, 6.
As you were looking around, you catch a glint of something. As you kind of move around and you look up, you see an old camera. One of those ones that are in the black glass.
Oh man,
orb.
those things have got some serious zoom power.
And it is off. You could tell that it's missing, it looks like someone had snipped the wires. But this camera's up pretty high. You might actually have to climb into the rack to get it if you want to repair it. But you can clearly see there's a wire or two that look like they might have been snipped.
Okay, are the wires down where I can reach them, or do I have to climb up to reach those wires?
You would have to climb up into the rack to reach those wires.
Okay, yeah, I'll do it. That's something I can do out here.
Okay. Are you going to try to do it sneakily? You going to use a ladder? How do you want to do this?
I'll use a ladder. I mean, I told the guy I'd be doing that kind of stuff.
All right. So after a couple of minutes of looking around, you eventually find a rickety aluminum ladder. It's in good shape. I mean, it's within the variations of the workplace safety protocols. You know, just
OSHA.
yeah, just it just squeaks past the checklist.
Hey, as long as it'll hold me up long enough for me to rerun this Cat 5 cord, I don't see a problem.
All right, go ahead and roll me your. I believe you have hardware.
Yeah, I should have hardware.
Go ahead and roll me that hardware roll.
3 hits.
It takes some doing, and since you really don't have actual tools, you have to strip the wires by hand, and you're doing the whole, like, twist the wires as tight as possible. You don't have wire nuts, so it's the, alright, well, here's some masking tape. That's gonna work. Oh, well, I got some packing tape. That's what's gonna work here. And you're able to get the camera, and you can hear that old electrical boot up, that, like, the camera zooming in and zooming out as it begins to recalibrate.
Okay, can I plug into it?
You've got two wires. You could try to connect a hard wire, but if you use your decks are illegal, so that might draw attention. But you could try to sneakily do that if you wanted to go that route, or you could sacrifice a burner comm and create a
That's like a ghetto network.
Yeah, just creating a node.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
All right.
Is trying to like use an old SIM card.
Let's see what we can do for you. That will be a. So what we're going to need to do is you're going to need to first roll a sneaking.
Hey, 1 hit.
As you are up on that ladder, one of the one of the warehouse workers kind of looks at you for a moment and cocks his head to the side as he pulls out an earbud. Dude, what are you doing?
Hoy hoy, chummas, this is Dan the GM, and I'm welcoming you to the mid-roll. First and foremost, thank you to all of our patrons over at patreon.com/whatthedice. Lady Lumi, Ethan, and A Relic, thank you so much for your continued support over on the Patreon. Don't forget, if you are a Patreon subscriber, don't forget to submit your custom weapons and things like that. We still have the Mexi shop in the works, and I just need to get the team to a spot where I can introduce it. It has been nuts. Absolutely nuts. We had to take like a month and a half off because of all sorts of mayhem, but we are back in recording, so hopefully we are going to keep ahead like we've been. Now, I want to also play you a quick promo. This is a podcast that we follow named the Hard Knocks Sorority. They are a 4th edition Shadowrun. You can find them on all major streaming platforms, but I've got their YouTube link. So here's their promo.
Hi, Chars. This is Zach Flash with KSAF, your last bastion of free and independent news in Seattle. Stick with us, Chummers, as we bring you the breaking news of an attempted terrorist kidnapping in the very heart of our beloved Metroplex. You heard that right, Ome. Right here in downtown Seattle, Shadowrunners, or terrorists, depending on your view of the Sixth World, attempted to kidnap a highly qualified research assistant employed by one of our favorite corporate overlords, Evo, at their Washington U research facility. We are saddened to report that this promising young woman's career was cut short in a blaze of terrorist gunfire. More details can be found in the special audio podcast, The Hard Knocks Sorority, a 4th edition Shadowrun actual play that takes a deep dive into this incident in an attempt to expose the dark machinations happening in the shadows of our beloved Metroplex. The Hard Knocks Sorority can be found on all Matrix podcast hosts and the YouTube. Signing off, this is Zach Flash with KSAF, bringing you my favorite rock opera, Mother of the Sea by Shieldwall.
So if you want to check out their stuff, check the links in the description. I've got what I can find from them. That's it for all of my announcements. Thank you so much for joining us each and every week. And if you want to catch me, I stream on Twitch every Tuesdays and Thursdays, as long as I get off work on time. So come, hang out, and just shoot the Drek with me. I'd love to see you. Other than that, thank you so much, and I will let you get back to this week's episode.
Well, found this old camera. Just trying to fix it.
Did you check with the soup first? You know the spider's got this issue about people touching his gear.
Well, it was snipped, so it looked like it needed to be fixed. I didn't know if someone had hit it with a ladder or...
Roll me a con roll.
One hit.
This guy is really, really suspicious of you.
Okay, so he's just staring at me?
He is raised eyebrow, like he is really sus of you.
So he's giving me a shit look, right?
Yeah, like he's starting to put two and two together, like maybe you don't actually belong here.
Okay. Well, man, look. If you're saying the spider's this particular, I haven't met him yet. I'm supposed to meet him next week. But if you're saying he's that particular, I probably shouldn't mess with his stuff. It was late, trying to find something to do.
Yeah, I mean, if you know anything about drone maintenance, the drones could probably use a cleanup. They've been running all day, flip them over, clean their wheels, stuff like that. That'd probably be a better use of your time than fracking with the spider's gear.
Alright, well, when I see him, I'll let him know about his busted camera.
Yeah, you do that. Hey, I didn't catch your name.
No, you didn't. What's yours?
Drake.
Ah, mine's Victor. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, man. Yeah, when it comes to the cameras, just don't muck with them. He slowly turns around, and as he does, he kind of, like, looks over his shoulder, looks you up and down, and then puts his earbuds in and goes back to work.
Jesus Christ. Try hard. It's a night shift. Alright, well, I will put the ladder to the side for now. And yeah, I'll see if I can't go find these drones.
Alright. As you walk off to find the drones, we will jump back over to Voltage. What would you like to do?
Well, do I see, since I already have the broom and dustpan, do I see any other easy cleanups out into the open that would allow me to look around better, but obviously make it look like that I'm actually doing something?
I mean, you can walk around with a broom and a dustpan and it looks like you're working. I just need to know what you're trying to do. Like, are you wanting to try to pick the lock? Are you trying to scope out the place to see if you can find the drugs? Like, what is your goal?
I'm trying to scope out the drugs. I don't want to pick the lock yet.
Right now, this aisle has been completely emptied by the drones. So there's nothing in this aisle besides you and P. Dexter, and P. Dexter just walked off. Now, Dexter did ask you if you could pick a lock, so you could try to get to the security door and try to pick the lock.
You also just heard this guy be an absolute Karen.
Screw it. I'll walk around and go and pick the lock. Is there anybody looking in my direction?
Give me a perception check.
3.
You need to go sweep his shoes, is what you need to do. Get him going somewhere.
Now you guys wish you had my grenade to make distractions, didn't you?
Not everything calls for a grenade.
But smoke bombs, maybe.
Alright. It looks like south of the door, there is a guy that just kind of looked over his shoulder and kind of gave you a head nod as he is continuing on to work. And it was that, like, you know, you passed by, he looked over his shoulder, kind of gave you that, like, hey, what's up nod and continued on his job. Looks like he's got earbuds in.
Subvocal to Dex, and can you make a distraction on that guy? Make sure he's just facing the wrong way. He won't be able to hear me pick lock, but he will be able to see me.
I'm gonna look at the guy in question. What's he doing?
Looks like he is kind of head bobbing to some music that is playing in his ears as he is just looking at boxes, making notes on what looks like a cheap comm link, and scanning a couple of barcodes. He just kind of seems to be just there. He's not an older guy, but, mid-20s, just kind of there.
If you're going for the door, I've got a pretty good spot right here to keep an eye on him. You're good at the moment. I'm just going to kind of start fiddling with the drones, and I'm just going to watch the surroundings around Voltage.
Okay.
Yeah, and can you check to see when the camera's not looking at me? Or these camera, or Dan, are these cameras, what do you call them? Fisheye?
Yes, they are. They would be. There's a high chance, especially since this is more of a cyberpunk world, that the cameras are not going to. They're going to move as little as possible. So they're going to either use fisheyes or they are going to have composite eye lenses.
So you got the guy, but do you have any recommendations on these cameras?
Can't really do anything to him until I get into that security room. I would try to just hide your face, as the spider won't be here until next week. So he shouldn't be checking these cameras too much.
Right, shouldn't be checking the cameras, and once we do get inside, then you can just delete the footage of me picklocking it to begin with, right?
That's the plan.
Alright, I'll wait for the opportunity where he's got the other guy facing around, and I make sure that nobody else is watching in my direction. I'll pick the lock.
Alright, give me a sneaking roll first.
3.
You net 1. So you are able to kind of lean on the door, kind of like tie your shoe, look around. No one seems to be paying attention to you. Now roll me a lock picking.
3.
After a couple of minutes of fiddling with the lock, you feel the deadbolt start to slide. And it feels like the door has unlocked.
Hey Dex, I think I'm in.
Nice. Don't go in. Let's just try to wait for like lunch break or something. And then maybe in the in and out I can slip in, and then you're just gonna have to be my lookout while I'm there. Let me know when I can get back out.
Okay, good call. Dan, can I check the door to make sure it'll stay unlocked? And it's not something that automatically locks back?
Yeah, give me... actually, just give me another lockpick skill, and that'll tell you a little bit about the lock.
What is that, a 1?
I don't want to say it because I don't know if I should re-roll it or not.
Yeah, that roll was mildly terrifying.
Would you like to spend edge to re-roll your failures?
Yeah.
Alright.
2 total.
I mean, it looks like a standard deadbolt. It felt like a standard deadbolt, so you're safely assuming it's a standard deadbolt.
Alrighty.
Would either of you like to do anything else? Or do we want to roll forward to the lunch break?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
See if we can't get a little bit more in before time's up.
And then I have one other question. Tizzy, how are you going to try to... Are you just leaving the door closed so it looks like it's closed, or are you going to try to keep it just slightly open? What is your plan with the door since you have it unlocked?
I think I'll just keep it closed and unlocked.
Okay. As the handful of hours pass and we eventually hear the chime for lunch, you see a lot of the warehouse workers exiting, talking about hitting the nearby soy burger for a quick bite. Dexter.
Yep.
Are you going for the security door now?
Yeah, if the area is clear.
Alright. Are you going to just blatantly walk up to it, or are you going to try to be a little bit more stealthy? Like, what's your plan?
I'll try to like walk along the shelf and see if I can't like peek through it to see if there's anyone watching that area, and see if I can't look down that way and see if people are heading out.
Give me a quick edge roll.
Stop to tie your shoe.
Yeah. Nothing.
Both shoes.
You look around and no. Besides a handful of drones that are starting to load some of the empty warehouse racks, for the most part, people seem to be just kind of off in their own little worlds heading to lunch.
Alright. Voltage, keep an eye out for me real quick. I'm gonna see if I can't slip in there.
As he's gradually walking this way, I'll look around.
Dexter, as you grab the door handle and slowly twist it, it doesn't give any resistance. As you start to push forward, the door doesn't budge.
So doorknob turns, deadbolt
Is engaged.
Ah, shit.
And that is where we are ending this week's episode. As the camera fades in, we find ourselves on the HR floor. It's not as busy. We're assuming it's probably lunchtime. Only a handful of people wandering about. We look over and we see Simon standing in his boss's office, as silently as we can, and put our ear near the door to listen in.
Well, Simon, it seems as if somebody above me has taken a liking to you. You know, you've been doing a real bang-up job helping here and there and picking up the slack that just needs to happen. You see, we're a family here in Red Raku, and you've definitely pulled that right out there. And so we're proud to announce that we are going to move you into the management training program. Yeah, it's a great thing. So how it's going to work is, unfortunately, you're not going to get the overtime. We're going to go ahead and set you up so you don't miss any hours here on the floor. So you'll be working here 5 a.m. till about 4 p.m. And then from 4 to about 8, you'll head on over to the training facility. Oh, it's only a couple of floors up, so it's right here on site. And then you'll be there, and then we'll do that until we can get you all trained up and ready. All right? Perfect.
As we watch Simon turn to leave, he slips his earbud in and his finger grazes over the comlink screen and taps the button. There's a moment of silence, and then the static. Hoi, 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 my friends. How are you doing? Seems as if our little runner friends have been bested by the worst thing Decker can ever be bested by. Something that is just vile and just such a pain in the ass. That's right, my friend. A good old-fashioned lock and pin deadbolt. Oh, Decker. Deckers are a fun group. I say that almost being one myself. Sometimes, the simplest solution to keep a Decker out is a good old-fashioned, non-digital, mechanical deadbolt, especially when they're trying to be sneaky. It's just one of them things. Well, they now got to figure out how to get in this room and get what they need, and their moves. Hopefully they can get everything they need so they can turn in this wild goose chase of a drug chase, whatever you want to call it. I'm wondering what this other part of this run might be. if the team accepts it. Well, my light's flashing. It means my time is up. It means I have to get scooting. Well, I would be remiss if I did not remind you the 3 tenant rules every runner must follow. 1, stick to the shadows. 2, always keep your gun loaded. And 3, never make a deal with a dragon. I'm Edis Box, and I am signing out.
Hey everyone, Nightland here, co-creator of What the Dice, and player of Sparkles for Season 2, to do some thank yous here at the end of our episode. First and foremost, I would like to thank each and every single one of you for listening. We would not be here today without you, and I do mean that sincerely. We never thought we would get this far, and knowing that there's someone out there, yeah, I'm talking to you, the one with the earballs listening right now. If it wasn't for you guys and us knowing that you're actually here and enjoying what you're listening to, we wouldn't have kept going, and it genuinely fills our heart with joy, and I want to make sure that we tell you every single time at the end of these episodes. We are eternally grateful. Second, we would like to take a moment to thank all the things that we use in our day-to-day What the Dicey ways. First up, Epidemic Sound for our sound effects and music, Podbean for being our host, Foundry VTT, and Forge VTT for creating their virtual tabletop gaming applications and services, Craigbot for our recordings, Catalyst Game Labs for Shadowrun, which is the current system we are running. And with that, if you can spare a moment of effort and want to help us out, the best thing that you can do is honestly tell a friend, share us, drop a link in a Discord somewhere that you're a part of, or take that 2-second effort of hitting a like, hitting a follow, giving us a star rating. Whatever the button is on whatever it is that you're listening to us on goes a long way in helping us fight that horrible algorithm monster. Also, the Topps Company Inc. has sole ownership of the names, logo, artwork, marks, photographs, sound, audio, video, and or any proprietary material used in the connection with the game Shadowrun. The Topps Company Inc. has granted permission to What the Dice to use such names, logos, artwork, marks, and or any proprietary material for the promotional and informational purposes on its website, but does not endorse and is not affiliated with What the Dice in any official capacity whatsoever.